How many of y'all have ever felt left out, treated differently, or discriminated for something that you couldn't or didn't want to change about yourself? Now imagine whole groups of people living separately because of those differences. That's the reality for many people around the world, and that's something I want to change. Minorities used to live separately, and over time they started to mix. But instead of becoming better, they started to have racism in between them and divisions, which later on led on to discrimination and violence in the world. But first of all, what even is a minority? A minority is a group of people that are different, if it's from the color of their skin, the religion they take part in, where they're from, and so many other things. Minorities are everywhere, even in the places where you might not see them. In fact, sociologist Lewis Wirth said that minorities are any group of people who, because of their physical or cultural characteristics, are sought out and treated differently in other places. This shows how minorities aren't just numbers. It's about the discrimination, and it's about the power that people have through them. Now, I want all of you to imagine living your normal life. This might be going to school as some of my peers. It might be going to work, or it might be walking around your neighborhood. And imagine you suddenly get discriminated by. You might not know what you did wrong, and you might not understand what people are talking to you about. But that's something that's happening every day. You might not feel it, but it's there, all the time. In fact, the American Psychological Association said that when people get discriminated by, they have higher levels of stress, they have mental health problems, and they suddenly have physical problems that come with that too. There's a challenge in the world nowadays where people don't feel safe being who they are, where people feel like masking their true self is easier than showing it to others. That's something that I don't want for the world, and I'm sure many of you don't want it either. I know that I don't want to have future generations that feel scared of showing who they are, that feel like they just want to hide away, and that's something I want to change. Right now, there isn't any change happening in the world. Right now, there is still discrimination everywhere. And right now, we need to make a change. Now, I want to talk about the places where there's discrimination. It might be in schools, it might be in sports, it might be in teams, but it really is everywhere. And in fact, the Journal of Youth, Adolescence, and states that when kids get discriminated by in schools, they disengage from learning, which is one of the more important aspects of someone's life. Education, getting friends, and making connections is one of the things that are important for kids, everybody. Now, one of the ways I think we can bounce back from this is by having community centers that purposefully put kids from different and diverse places together for activities such as sports, music, arts, and food, which I'm sure many of you like from different places. Now, I have lived in Latin America for most of my life, and I understand why being a minority might be daunting or challenging. I understand why it's hard to be in a place where you feel like you're alone, where there's not many people that connect to you. I have felt that from being the only one that understands some of my traditions and cultures, and I understand why it might be challenging for you too. Living in Israel for 6 or 7 years, I have understood why being part of a major culture is important, why feeling like you're at home, like Mr. Petter said, is really important. It shows how having a sense of belonging is important for everybody. Right now, I believe we need to bounce back. We need to take a step, because if we don't take action now, then when will we? I want all of you to go back in time and think of a place where you were different, where you might have not known anybody, and imagine that there was someone there that helped you, that gave you a small kind act that changed your day. I want all of you to become that person for others. I want you to believe that you can actually make a difference, because small acts change the world, and if we don't do them now, then when will people do them? You don't need to have a big speech or a big movie that you make to make an impact. You just have to care enough to act. That's the vision I have for the world. It starts with someone listening, but listening to understand, not just to respond. Then it comes with being curious and wanting to learn more. That's what I want. I want people to be connected, because connections are the things that matter most in people's lives. So please, after this TED Talk, be that one person that will help you. Take one small act that will help get someone through their day. Because small acts change the world. And if you don't act now, then when will you? Thank you.